It's 10 questions on country songs from the 90s, as picked by Patreon subscriber Jim Fields, a.k.a. the Askin Nebraskan. This is Trivia with Buds. What it be, and welcome to another episode of the Trivia with Buds podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Buds. Happy Sunday. Hopefully you're having a fantastic little weekend. It's finally starting to warm back up in Southern California. We have had the coldest winter that I've had here in 6 years of living here, and the most rain that I've ever seen. So the hills look amazing. There's snow on them. They're green if it's not as high of elevation to have snow. And they look great, but soon we'll be back to our desert climate and all that stuff will die and melt. And it'll get back to the sunny weather. It's 2 days of sun in a row, which is the most we've had in a long time. It's been just nonstop cloudy and raining. So I'm excited to be back in the climate that we pay so much money to live here for. So hopefully your weather situation is getting better wherever you're at. Maybe you're listening to this show in Australia, like my friends Dan and Luke. Maybe you're listening to this show in Canada, which I can't name any listeners off the top of my head, but I bet there's some people up there listening. Maybe you're listening in my town of Crestwood, Illinois, the town I grew up in. Wherever you're at, we're so glad that you're here, and we're glad that you love pop culture trivia. Today's episode is all about country music trivia, and it was picked by my friend Jim Fields, who is the Askin Nebraskan. He hosts trivia in the Nebraska region, and he runs places like the Thursday nights at Hy-Vee Market Grill, which has a bar in it. It's a Hy-Vee grocery store with a bar, and he's posted some pictures, man. This place gets super packed, and everybody in town comes out to play trivia with the Askin Nebraskan. So check that out. You can find him at facebook.com/Askin Nebraskan, no G on Askin. And he's also got Monday night taproom trivia. That's over at Lost Way Brewery. And he does Wednesday nights at a place called McHugh's in Nebraska. McHugh's Nebraska Tap Room. So check all those out, facebook.com/Askin Nebraskan, and play some trivia with Jim Fields. Jim writes great questions. He's always got great topics, and he is a good friend of the show. And he is a Patreon subscriber. So he gets to pick a topic that I do on this show every single month. And for this month of February, he said, can you do some 90s country for me? So we're doing that for him. He wants, in March, Orange is the New Black, and in April, WrestleMania. So some great picks coming from Jim in months to come. But today's episode is all about country music. I am a country music fan. I like even the hokey pop radio country stuff a certain time of year, especially this time of year when it's starting to get nicer. It's like, yes, these are the lyrics to things that I want to imagine myself doing. So I like hanging out, having a beer in the driveway. I don't have a truck, so I have to sit in my driveway and kind of look at my neighbor's truck. But you know, that's what I'm talking about. I like the messages of a lot of these, just kind of like relax and sit back and have fun with your family type country songs. And one of my favorite artists of all time is Chris Stapleton. So if you like Chris Stapleton music, that's the kind of stuff that I like the most. And Zac Brown Band, little stuff like that. Not a huge, I've never bought a country album except Chris Stapleton. So I'm not a diehard country fan. Most of these songs on today's episode I've heard, but I'm not like huge fans of. But from time to time, I throw on that country station, put the windows down, and I get why people like country music. This realization did not come to me till I was about, 25, and I started to feel like an older person, and that's where I'm at now. So I'm not a huge music fan as I get older. Like I put it on, but I'm more of a podcast listener kind of a guy, nonstop listening to talk radio and things like that. But when I do put on music, it's usually something like The Killers or Incubus, or maybe some random rap music like Run the Jewels or something like that, or more likely than not, a Chris Stapleton song. So that's where I'm at in terms of stuff I listen to. What do you listen to? I want to hear all about it in the Patreon chat. You can go to patreon.com/trivia with buds, donate $1 or more, and get in our Discord app chat. There's some great stuff going on in there, and I'd love for you to be a part of it. And it's just $1 to join a great community of people who love trivia, and we're all pals in there. Okay, we're going to jump into today's episode. 10 questions on 90s country songs. I will give you the name of the song, and I want you to tell me who the artist was for the song. This was picked by Jim Fields. Here we go. All right, 90s country music. Let's see how you do. Name the artist based on the song title. These are all from the 90s. Number 1, She's in Love with the Boy. Number 1, She's in Love with the Boy. Who had that hit song in the 90s? She's in Love with the Boy. Number 2, Boot, Scoot, Boogie. Boot, Scoot, Boogie. Who had the hit song Boot, Scoot, Boogie. Number 3, one word, amazed, past tense. Number 3, amazed. Number 4, I like it, I love it. I like it, I love it. Who had that song? Number 4, I like it, I love it. Number 5, man, exclamation point, I feel like a woman. Number 5, man, I feel like a woman. Number 6, she thinks my tractor's sexy. Number 6, she thinks my tractor's sexy. Number 7, wide open spaces. Number 7, wide open spaces. Number 8, achy breaky heart. Number 8, achy breaky heart. Number 9, how do I live? Number 9, how do I live? And number 10, breathe. Number 10, breathe. Not the Prodigy song, but it was called Breathe. Quick note, none of these were used twice in terms of artists, so they're all singular use artists, and hopefully you got all 10 of those right if you're a 90s country music fan. We're going to go over the answers in just a second. Here we go with 90s country music picked by Jim Fields, the Askin, Nebraskan. Number 1, She's in Love with the Boy was a song by Trisha Yearwood. Trisha Yearwood, number 1, She's in Love with the Boy, Trisha Yearwood. Number 2, Boot Scoot Boogie, Brooks and Dunn. Brooks as well as Dunn had the hit song Boot Scoot Boogie. They've been around forever, Brooks and Dunn. My mom has a lot of Brooks and Dunn albums. She still buys a lot of CDs at Goodwill and stuff. She'll be like, Rye, look at this new Judd's album I got. I'm like, Mom, all that stuff's on your phone. I put Amazon Music on there. I have 6 accounts. You could sign into it anytime. She goes, oh, I'm not doing that. I like the disc. Number 3, Amazed, Lone Star was the band. Lone Star. I don't know if they're still around, but they were kind of big in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember that song being a big slow dance song at the end of dances around 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th grade. Amazed, Lone Star. Number 4, I Like It, I Love It, which is something I sing to my wife all the time, and she'll sing back to me. Did not know it was a Tim McGraw song. Tim McGraw song. I thought that was a female artist, but it was Tim McGraw. Number 5, Man, I Feel Like a Woman, Shania Twain. Shania Twain. That's a fun one with that big, like, I don't know, it sounds like an accordion at the beginning of it. It's like, right? Is that an accordion? Wouldn't it be great if Weird Al was featured on that? Shania Twain featuring Weird Al. Number 6, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, Kenny Chesney. Way back in the 90s, which is crazy to me because I thought Kenny Chesney was like 30 years old, and I thought he got famous in the last 10 years, but that means he's been around for about 20 years minimum if he had a hit song in 99. So Kenny Chesney, number 6. Number 7, Wide Open Spaces was the Dixie Chicks, who I am not super familiar with. I know they had that song about murdering their husband, Earl or whatever, Poor Earl or Mean Earl. Number 7, Wide Open Spaces, Dixie Chicks. Number 8, Achy Breaky Heart. I play this one a lot at Music Bingo. It gets people boot scooting, although it's not the Boot Scoot Boogie. It's Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus, father of Miley Cyrus, who's completely normal. Number 8. Number 9, How Do I Live was a LeAnn Rimes song. And a lot of people don't know this. LeAnn Rimes used to be married to Busta Rhymes. Keep that on the DL. Number 9, How Do I Live, is made famous by a teddy bear holding scene in Con Air with Nicolas Cage. Number 10, Breathe, not by Prodigy, but by Faith Hill. Faith Hill, number 10, Breathe. Hopefully you got all those if you consider yourself a country music superstar. And I hope you did. Hope you got all 10. If you didn't get 10, let me know your score. Show me your scorecards. Maybe you got an 8 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10. You can send me those scorecards. I like seeing those. And maybe you are not even listening to this episode because you're like, country music, not for me. But that's the fun of the podcast. You don't have to listen every day. You can go, oh, I'm not into He-Man, and then you skip that one. Or you go, ooh, I love marine biology. And you click on that one. So there's a little something for everybody. And if you want it to be a little bit more personalized, if you want to pick a topic like Jim Fields did for today, you can donate $5 or more over on patreon.com/trivia with buds. Join our growing community and contribute to the building of the show and the categories and topics that we do every single day. I'm looking at my giant Patreon subscriber topics Google spreadsheet, and we got some great topics coming up. Alex DeSmet wants Friday Night Lights, the TV show, in March. Alexis Eck wants Name City by Landmarks. So I'd say like the Liberty Bell, and you'd say Philadelphia. I think that's right. Brenda Martinez wants Chicago history. Dan Papalo from Australia wants Charmed, the original series. Ooh. Douglas French wants TV show schools like Bayside High, etc. And Greg Hines wants movies that take place in Chicago. So some good Chicago topics coming up for a few listeners in March. Again, if you want to shape the show to fit your needs and interests, go to patreon.com/trivia with buds and donate $5 or more. And special thanks to people who up their donations in recent time to be able to pick a topic. That's very, very cool when people do that. And I'm very excited when I get those notifications that say like, oh, so-and-so upped their donation from this dollar amount to that dollar amount. So my friend Sarah just did that. Special thanks to Sarah. Thank you so much, Sarah, for doing that. And we will see you tomorrow for more Trivia with Buds. Thanks for listening. Thanks for telling a friend. And have a great rest of your day. Cheers.